Moving on forward to age, gender, and location. We'll discuss all three in one video because there's really not too much to talk about. First of all, within the ages, you have basically 13 to 65 plus, and kind of 65 plus can be a big range. Just take a look at this. If we target people 13 to 64, we get 700 million people in Europe and North America without Canada. So just let's include the good Canadians over here, and we have 730 million people. If you add the 65 plus, there's another 60 million people over here. So the 65 plus is a bracket on its own, and it's kind of a huge age range. So just have that in mind, because this kind of can significantly reduce your audience if you exclude that. And if you don't want to, it's kind of a specific whether you or not you want to target these people. Also, another thing to mention about age is that you should consider the legal age within the country that you are targeting. So for example, if you are doing a BMW ad in the United States, you can learn to drive at 16, but in Germany you need to be 18. And in some other countries, I think you need to be 20. I think some of the Asian countries have a higher age range for that. So you just consider the legal age of the product that you are offering within your within that specific country. So you don't want to, let's say, in Europe, for example, drinking alcohol is allowed at the age of 18 in most countries, but in the United States, that's at 21. So if you're targeting Germany and the United States at the same time, and you have selected 18, you would be advertising alcohol to people who are underage in the United States, which you don't want to do. Again, just consider that when you're targeting multiple locations. Now, with the genders, there's really not too much to say. There's either both or men and women, and all really means all. So if people have designated their gender to be something other than man or woman, then that would be in here. And you can't just target the other who have selected something different than man or woman. That might change in the future, but right now you either go with men, women, or all, which includes the others. Now moving on to the languages. Now languages are pretty simple to explain as well. So you use a language to show your ads to people who use a language that isn't common to your location. So for example, if you want to target the Korean community within San Francisco, for example, then you would go over here and you would go with the you would go to the search bar, say San Francisco, California. Let's say that we are fine with targeting kind of a bigger area than that, even if we catch some part of San Jose and so on. Let's say that we are targeting this area and we want to just target the Korean community within that zone. So we can say that we want to just target Korean. Now, we get a warning that our ad may get 0 conversions because of that, and that's completely fine, but we'll ignore that for now, just for example's sake. Now, the language option is kind of unclear, so there's a few things to consider about languages. So if someone is using Facebook in a specific language, Facebook considers them to understand that language, which might not always be the case. So for example, in some countries like in Bulgaria, for example, where I'm from, a lot of people use Facebook in English, but they don't really speak English well. And that's an uncommon language, you could say, in that area. So if you do select English, the people who have Facebook in English would be considered to know English, which would not be really the case. That's one interesting case. Another interesting case is that people can say that they speak certain languages on Facebook without speaking them, which is another important thing to note. So for example, in my profile, I can say that I speak Italian. However, that's not true. And then if Italian is selected, I may or may not see that ad depending on how things work. So it's really not clear how this works exactly. And Facebook's recommendation is to enter the language to show your ads to people who use a language that isn't common to your location. So what you would do is you would select a specific language. So let's say if I'm targeting the Korean community and my ad is in Korean, even though I'm targeting the United States, then I would select Korean, for example. Or if I am targeting, let's say, Switzerland is an interesting case. So if Switzerland and Belgium are kind of this case. So let's say, not custom audiences, I want the search bar over here. So let's say I will target Belgium and the Netherlands. So in Belgium, there's a part of the population that speaks Dutch. So in this case, I can say that I want to target Belgium, but I only want to target the people who speak Dutch. Sorry, not detailed targeting. That would be down here, Dutch. And there's also the Belgian kind of Dutch, which is weird. Another interesting case would be, for example, if I want to target Switzerland. In Switzerland, there's actually 3 official languages. That would be German, French, and Italian. And I could select, let's say, Italian, and I want to target the Italian speaking part of Switzerland, and then my ad would also be in Italian, and then the German speaking part of Switzerland would not really see my ads, which is again fuzzy because a lot of people in Switzerland, like a lot of the German part of Switzerland, also speaks Italian, and they might say in their profile that they speak Italian, but they don't, and it's kind of tricky. But generally, it's considered that if you select a specific language, the people who will see your ad will certainly either say on their profile that they speak Italian or use Facebook in Italian. And they would be able to read Italian ads. I think Facebook should be good enough to figure that one out. So that's everything really that you could possibly know on ages, genders, and languages. And we are moving on to the next one.